Welcome to Clock Tower. I'm Brandon, and today we're looking at BanG Dream. Part because the Countdown Collection is just about to be released, and with that in mind, we're trying to change things up a little bit here. Because the Countdown Collection is essentially just reprints of a bunch of different profiles, here being a list of some of the ones that kind of like correspond to cards that already exist, we wanted to look at this a little bit differently. Because it's basically just reprints of cards, and so the deck doesn't really change a whole lot from what it was previously to what it is now. But realistically, it's BanG Dream. BanG Dream has so many sets, you could basically build whatever you want to. It's kind of, at this point, a set that has just about all the tools you're going to want and some really key pieces and timing-wise to make this deck like a viable choice going into this. With that in mind, I thought it would be really good to start going through the sets a little bit more overview style. It's not just about the deck, it's not just about building this single deck, but looking at the set a little bit more overall, seeing what the set can offer out. Especially when deck building choices can make the difference, just by making sure you have the right pieces available to you and the tools to get those pieces. So, really appreciated something that 3-6 Cancel would do when they were going through their set overview. They would look at these set features and really kind of break down the set as to whether or not the set had these different pieces and whatnot. I thought it was such a good idea that I was going to start trying to do that too. And so here's kind of the set overview, set features of what was going to happen. I thought it would be really good for us, especially as we begin to look forward to some of these new sets. Now that 3-6 Cancel has stepped back from doing content creation to continue on the legacy a little bit of bringing these kind of set features forward and keeping it in the forefront of our minds as we look forward. So here's the set features from BanG Dream. BanG Dream encompasses a crazy ton of sets, with this Countdown Collection being essentially the reprints that allows us access to profiles that maybe we had a hard time getting a hold of or hard time accessing. But within BanG Dream, we have all of these different options here available to us. With all the opportunities within the set, it allows us to build decks in very unique ways. So, with that in mind, I'm going to throw up a list here. This is kind of the list that I would do when building with BanG Dream. I'm not going to go into it too much, as we've basically covered most of these cards already in a previous video. But being able to essentially highlight, hey, this deck is still basically the same, and some of these profiles are repeated now in the Countdown Collection. I think the 2-2 package is actually still worthwhile. Its power line is on the lower end of what you're expecting to see about that time frame, but I think the hexproof is kind of the key frame for that here. Having that hexproof in place, I think, is a significant difference maker, enough so that it still warrants being in this package. We're running just enough blue to make that happen. We're playing basically red for 8 salvage. Cards in hand, playing into buns for luck, playing into that stock. Playing into the cheap stock swap, trying to play into just good Weiss, and having the tools to be able to do that. I do still play into the Neg-Soul event at the top with the anti-burn. I think those two pieces together are enough to actually make a difference here. That's why I had that. With this deck, I think there's a lot of selection. You have a lot of pieces that can interfere with your opponent's game plan. You have pieces to help prevent some of the more traditional ways of going about it. So I really like the way this deck can function, and I think that's actually in a pretty decent spot right now. So, with that in mind, thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, do the YouTube thing. Next week, we're going to have more videos. So until then, we'll see you then.